So once parties start exploring all of the questions that you mentioned just now, and once they start coming up with content, what do you do with that as a mediator?
Well, I think that's quite a tough issue, because what you're then doing is trying to work out not just what's important to the parties, but what's important to the resolution of the dispute. And there may be issues that are really important to the parties, but actually they haven't played a very significant part in the determination of the dispute. And so, as mediator, I think you've got to reflect upon what you've heard. But before you can do that, you've got to make sure that you've heard it properly. And it's important to remember that just as the parties come to a mediation with their assumptions, their presuppositions, their cultural biases, so as mediator, you're coming in with all of these as well. And particularly if you've done a lot of mediations, and you've done mediations that are similar in the type of disputes, it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking, oh, I know what this is about, and you stop listening. And so what you have to do is, I think you have to repeat back, you have to, in a sense, reframe, put into your own words what you've just heard. And you use phrases like, so if I've understood you right, what you're telling me is this, or, and this is why it's important to you. And if I've understood you correctly, what you're telling me is that this is the effect it had on you, and this is why you did this. Have I got that right? And I think that serves two purposes. One is, for the party, it shows you've actually been listening to them. And that's really important, because if they think the mediator isn't listening, and they're not really hearing what they're saying, they're going to slightly disengage. Whereas if they think, well, yeah, he's got that, yeah, gosh, that's 3 years worth of law and facts that he seems to have got in about 20 minutes, and that's really good. And it also means that from your point of view as the mediator, you have understood correctly exactly what you're being told.